Mighty G-Force Radio Soul, the best in throwback hits.
DJ Khaled. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air.
Yeah. It's going down right here, Mighty G-Force Radio Soul, the best in throwback hits radio. We got Stacie and Will King in the house, and it's going down right here. We're going to talk about your real estate, and we're going to talk about your future on buying. He's here, and he's dope, straight from VA, DC, matter of fact, right? Yeah. Take it away, Will.
Hey, we are so glad you guys have joined us today. This is the first of the real in real estate investing. My name is Will, and this is
Stacie,
my lovely wife.
hello.
We are so excited. We want to just first thank God for this opportunity, don't we?
Yes.
I am so grateful that we have this opportunity just to bring some real content, real people. We're going to be talking about some real peaks and valleys in real estate investing. We're going to have fun. We're going to educate you, and we're going to listen to some questions, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are interested in getting into real estate investing, and you just don't know how, don't know where to start.
Right.
And so we want this show to be kind of a boost for you, to impact you, to get you to put your foot on the pedal and move forward.
Yes.
Just before you start, you're going to tell us what we're going to be talking about today. I want to give a shout out to mothers, and thank God here is a mother, my beautiful wife. I also thank God for my mother, because it was a year ago that the enemy thought that he took her out. But this day, God has spared her life, and she's still here by grace. And so we just want to shout out to mothers on this Mother's Day.
to
Happy
everyone.
Mother's Day.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about in the beginning, and I'm not talking about the Genesis 1 and 1. I'm talking about the beginning, the genesis of our real estate investing business. So that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to take some of the fears out of pulling the trigger, as Will stated earlier. We want to make it relevant to you, give you some relevant experiences and relevant learning today. So first and foremost, I'm going to start by just sharing a little bit about us, so that you'll know that we're just everyday people just like you. I have 20 plus years in human resources as a human resource professional. And how many years do you have in finance?
24 and a half years.
24 and a half years.
24 and a half years in the financial industry.
Yeah, so we're just everyday people. And when we started this venture, how much experience did we have in real estate?
Zero. We had none.
Zero experience. And so we're coming here today just to share with you, you know, the biggest thing that got our attention from starting the real estate investing was a Facebook ad that was, you know, scrolling through Facebook and saw this ad, and it said, learn how to buy property with other people's money. How many of you have seen that?
I think a lot of us have.
Right. And so I jumped all over that because I was really excited about how on earth can you buy property with other people's money, right? And so it was this free day of training that we went to, right? And alongside of that was another 3-day training that you can sign up at the same time. And so I went ahead and did that, right? And we get to this training, and it's so much information. It's overwhelming to me, overwhelming in a sense of a good way, you know, where you're getting so much information about an industry that you didn't know anything about. So that's what I mean by overwhelming. It was just exciting, I would say. So we came back, and at the end of that, if you've been to a seminar before, you know they offer you at the end of it, come join our coaching program or sign up for a 3-day training, which luckily we had already done that, right? But the fantastic part about that is
how long ago was that, by the way?
That was only 5 years ago.
5 years. So we've been pushing this thing for 5 years.
Yes. But the exciting part of me about that was that 3-day training was only $67. But at the end of that 1-day training that we went to, they were selling the 3-day training for $500. So we were so excited about that we got it for only $67. And so we felt like that was a God thing, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Favor.
Yeah. But I would not be telling the truth if I tell you that we went into this all strong and confident. We went into this with some fears, some uncertainties, not knowing, what this was going to mean for us. But because we're the type of people who are entrepreneurs versus entrepreneurs, we knew that we had to pull the trigger. So once your mind is made up, to do something, it is vitally important that you commit to that thing, or you'll be like we saw a lot of people that go to all of these seminars, and what do?
Just get a lot of information and never really pull the trigger and do anything. So let's stop there for a moment, and because I think that it's important that people understand that everybody has uncertainties.
Yes.
Everybody face fears.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, because as you're developing, as you're growing, you're going to other levels. Well, you going to another level means that there are things at that level that you might not have experienced, those things that you don't know.
Right.
And so there is a level of fear. And so for us, let's talk about what those fears were like in the beginning. I remember years back watching a Carlton Sheets. I was up, I think maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I think a lot of people can kind of relate to that.
I did not know who Carlton Sheets was. I just have to be honest.
Well, I've been an entrepreneur. I've been in the business, just entrepreneur since I got out of high school.
Right.
Well, but I was watching this Carlton Sheets infomercial, and I remember him saying, buying real estate with no money. And I'm thinking, buying real estate with no money? How do you do that when real estate is one of the biggest purchases that you'll make in your lifetime? And so fast forward to 2014 when we started in the business, and I think a lot of people deal with this fear where they overanalyze trying to figure out, what do I do if a seller says yes to my offer?
What's next?
What do I do?
Where do I
get the $80,000 or where do I get the $100,000 to $100,000 if this seller says yes to my offer? So let's talk a little bit about that, because we kind of went through that a little bit. But one of the things that I find with us, and I know that there are people out there that can relate to the fact that it's important to know that you don't have to be so analytical. You don't have to overanalyze.
And you don't have to be fearful of making a mistake.
Exactly.
Because that person you're speaking to, they don't know the steps. They don't know what you're supposed to say. All they know is they have a home that they're trying to sell, or they're having a home that they want to buy. But that's it. Right. So you have to kind of know it's okay to not know everything or not say everything perfectly, right?
Exactly. The important thing, and to even go to that point, the important thing is to, when you make a mistake, and we're not talking about doing things unethical. Right. Let's get that clear. Please. We're not talking about that. No. We're talking about you honestly learning, you're trying, and you might have said something wrong or something that you wasn't clear on. It's important to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know.
And it's also okay to say, I'm new to this.
Exactly. Because, I find that when people know you're new, they tend to want to help you even more.
Right.
Rather than just trying to cover it up or trying to act like you know when you really don't know. And then you get down the line in that transaction, and all of a sudden, something really goes awry.
Exactly.
So I think that it's important to understand that, are you going to have fears? Sure, you're going to have fears. I read a book, and I can't remember the author's name. The name of that book was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So I want to say to somebody out there that's listening, that's starting in your real estate investing business, you may feel the fear. You may be concerned about, I don't know exactly what to say. You may be concerned about, what if the seller says yes to my offer? You may be concerned about, well, how do I sell the property? You know, what contract do I use? You're going to feel the fear of all of that.
Right.
But in spite of that, take the step anyway. Because it's through that step that you're going to start learning.
Exactly.
And so I heard Mitch Stevens say one time, fail forward.
Fail forward.
Fail forward.
Took a minute, but fail forward.
There you go. Fail forward, you know, because sometimes you're trying to make sure you got everything in line and you got everything right. And let me tell you something. Everything is never going to always line up.
Right.
You have to make a decision and you have to move forward with that decision. And that's what we did.
Exactly.
Back in 2014 when we started. So talking about that in the beginning and talking about some of those fears, let's also talk about the networking meeting that we went to when we went to that 3-day event.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people that's coming into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We see this all over the internet, you know, where the 3-day events,
Okay, yeah.
2-day events, you know, and people go to these meetings. So let's talk a little bit about what that was like. You remember that?
Oh, yes, of
You do?
course I remember that.
Let's
you're
talk
in a
about that.
meeting with a lot of people that you do not know, right? And so they're talking about, if you have not been in the real estate industry, they're talking about something that you don't know the language of,
Right.
right? In that industry, you don't